Sluts!
That's offensive!
Sluts!
Listen. 1, welcome back to Men with Advanced Degrees Play. 2, Paul, stop slut-shaming people.
Bryant, I am a slut. Any woman who wants to do me, I'll do her, as long as she whips me a little bit. And that's what a slut really is. So let's come back to Advanced Degrees. What is a slut, Brian? Explain to me what is a slut.
A slut is someone who wastes 10 minutes at the end of an episode, at the beginning of an episode, not choosing what items to equip my character with, and doesn't
equip the slut shamer.
Oh, that sounded.
Don't you time-wasting shame us.
That sounds like an Osafune katana. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, Osafune.
Oh yeah, the katana. Samurai.
Oh, you mean an Osafune?
I want to be a samurai.
All right, samurai kind of sounds like Stone Mask, so I'm gonna put that on.
That's one of the most ancient samurai masks.
Samurai kind of sounds like Spike Breaker, so I'm gonna put that on.
Blood Cloak, because you're a samurai.
Sounds good.
Samurais covered their cloaks in blood when they kill their enemies.
All of these.
Yeah.
All right.
Okie doke, we're going.
Welcome back to Boys with Advanced Faces. This time we're playing Twilight: The Legend of Zelda. It's based on a cloak that is red. The Blood Cloak, if you will.
Also, someone could throw up a timer for 15 minutes just to make sure we're being honest.
Every 15 minutes in the new Nintendo game, Legend of Zelda: The Blood Cloak, you change into a wolf. Thus, the Breath of the Wild, if you will.
The breasts of the wild?
The breasts of the wild. Speaking of breasts, let me read you something. As a teenager...
By all means, Paul.
As a teenager, I suffered from severe depression and formed a strong bond with the character Garfield and his outlook. It's sad, but reading Garfield anthologies obsessively was the only thing that made me feel normal, and it eventually took on something of an erotic fixation. To avoid feeling like a sicko, I drew pictures of Garfield with a woman's, think Pamela Anderson circa 1991, body in Garfield's head. So that I was assured that my fixation wasn't with animals or oppressed homosexuality. No. This Garfield-Pam hybrid still had the same biting wit and acerbic outlook, and tended to cut herself in self-loathing while wolfing down lasagna to fill the void after sleeping with drawings of a much more handsome and muscular version of myself. These drawings eventually evolved into erotic fanfiction starring Garfield and myself. In my head, Garfield still has a woman's body, but someone reading the stories would think I'm just having sex with regular Garfield, which isn't accurate. I killed off John in a jealous rage. I didn't touch Odie. I enjoy his companionship, and I don't mind if he watches. End quote. Ronald Reagan, 1977. How do you feel knowing that Ronald Reagan is a Garfield fetishist, you scum? How does that make you feel, you Trump voters, huh? Ronald Reagan fucked Garfield.
Ronald Reagan could draw Garfield in the style of Pamela Anderson from 20 years in the future.
Such was his power as the demiurge.
My goodness. I think the key quote there is, so that I wouldn't have to feel like a sicko, I drew Garfield with the tits of Pamela Anderson.
Guys, I have a real confession to make. I sometimes use Wolf Alucard and just put Christina Hendricks' head on his from Mad Men, right? And then pretend I'm fucking a wolf with Christina Hendricks' head. But a wolf with like a saber and whatnot.
Confession. Sometimes I imagine Scarlett Johansson, but with Alucard's head and the body of a South American capybara.
Capybara.
And then I fuck the Scarlett Johansson Alucard capybara from behind while it makes sort of capybara sounds in Scarlett Johansson's like smoky husky voice.
Like that?
Exactly like that.
Damn, man, that's fucked up. I want to kill you with a neutron bomb. That's how fucked up you are. We need a neutron bomb for this internet shit. Why is people so fucked up?
Guys, wait.
And now that they have the internet,
Paul,
we all have to know.
Why aren't you letting me make my confession? Why aren't you letting me come out of, like, my shell and, like, tell you what I believe in? And...
Because whatever you have to say about your sexuality is wrong. I will accept the trans. I will accept all the homosexual. This is fine. These are ancient things. Even the Roman Emperor Heliogabalus, or whatever the hell. How do you say his name? Elagabalobulus?
I don't know. He was one of Lord's reincarnations, though.
Which one was a transsexual? Which one was like? Which one offered the entire Roman treasury to whoever could turn him into a woman?
That's Heliogabalus, but I don't know that I'm pronouncing that right. That's also going to be the name of my first son. First daughter, Yellow. First son, Heliogabalus.
Yeah, gender's just a number. Hey, are you fighting yourself again?
Yeah, this is Doppelganger 40. The last one I fought was Doppelganger 10.
What happened to Doppelganger 37?
I will accept all these people, but I will not accept Garfield. Now confess. Confess, Dane. And you killed that fuck. Doppelganger
Well,
40
to be fair, I was level 40 also. And he didn't have the Yasufune Katune. Holy shit. The Yasufune Katana.
The Kusafun Katani.
Uchi Maguchi.
The Rurouni Kenshin.
This is why Japanese is my first language.
Because you don't say it right? I feel like you might have converted inverse cause and effect there. No, what? Tell us about your sexual horrors.
I was gonna say,
Dark Octopus?
You guys know the Pokemon Medicham?
No, tell us about that. Isn't it the Pokemon that's into meditating and chams?
Both of his legs look like boobs.
Oh, because he has those baggy Arab pants.
So if you kind of scroll up on a picture of him, or her, you know, it's like Medichams can be ladies. It looks like their legs are a pair of tits. You know, and sometimes when you just hard up for material, and when you're 16 or 18 or 24 years old or whenever that Pokemon came out, you can tell this is clearly a joke or I'm stealing someone else's life experience. You just kind of scroll up on a picture of Medicham and you whack off the breasts, as though they're breasts.
You pretend that Medicham's legs are some boobs?
Yeah, exactly, man. If you believe hard enough, it will come true. Just like everything else.
Isn't that the plot of Field of Dreams, where a guy tries to build a baseball field by jacking off to Medicham's breasts, which are legs?
First of all, Medicham's legs, which are breasts. You got it backwards.
Right.
Like, learn the fucking lore, Paul.
I'm sorry. At least I know that Sonic is the fastest thing alive.
Listen, when I was a young man, I was a young man, I liked to masturbate, and occasionally, I would find it, I wasn't very good at masturbating, and I would find masturbating to be somewhat sexually frustrating. And so, I was reading on the internet.
You gotta touch the tip. The tip is the most sensitive part. You just focus on the tip.
My tip, I'm circumcised, so my tip is basically a desert of dead nerves.
Why are you Jewish?
So I read on the internet that if you take a cantaloupe, cut a hole in it, eat it in the microwave, and jam your dick into it, it feels just like a woman.
That's
So I
interesting because
got
you know.
in my car
Oh God.
and I drove to the nearest town. So I live in the countryside. I drove 15 miles into Titusville, Pennsylvania, city of dreams, birthplace of the oil industry. And I went to the Walmart to buy a cantaloupe. And as I stepped into the produce aisle, and the cantaloupes are sitting there, all mounded, all piled up. And I looked the cantaloupes into they don't really have eyes, but looked at the cantaloupes intently. It occurred to me that all human sexuality was disgusting and perverse, and that the only way to live a virtuous life was self-castration.
Let me tell you something. Death is talking. Hold on.
Not while there's a breath in my body.
Then for the master, I'll feast on your soul this night.
Man, sounds like that's the kind of thing Death would say after it realized it could only fuck cantaloupes and nothing else. Like nothing else did it for Death.
Looking back on my life, I actually regret not going through the cantaloupe fucking, because I think it would be a better life story if I had in fact gone and fucked.
I'd like to know that that's how I did it with my first girlfriend in high school.
Cut a hole in her?
Because
wait,
she
wait,
was
Paul. You cut a hole in her, and you put her in the microwave.
Yeah, and she was nice and pulpy. No, she was one of those, what do you call them, Mormon Amish? And as a Mormon Amish, she was really hot because she has one of those sexy little bonnets. God, bonnets are sexy. So she was wearing this bonnet, but I couldn't actually do it with her because of because God didn't want us to do it. So we just cut a cantaloupe up. We put the cantaloupe between her thighs, and she clenched it lovingly between her thighs, and then I would just fuck the cantaloupe and pretend I was doing her, and she would make fake orgasm noises. And it was kind of the most fulfilling sexual experience of my life. That includes making out with a daughter of J.R.R. Tolkien.
One, that's remarkable. Two, I wonder if I feel as if my life is diminished. I wish that I had done it. I feel like maybe that's how I could have finally been happy.
By fucking
having the intimacy of fucking a human being without the immense perversity and grossness that is fucking. So instead, fucking a cantaloupe, it's like the best of all possible worlds. The intimacy of real sex, but without the shame and knowledge that God hates you, despises you, just wishes nothing but evil and death upon you for partaking in human flesh. So
right. If I don't mean to interrupt, but have you ever considered talking to a therapist?
I've talked to many therapists. The problem with therapists are they say to you, Brian, your immense hatred of your own sexual impulses, your desire to crush your sexual desires is ultimately harming your life, and you need to stop wanting to do that. And to which I say to them, it doesn't matter if that's hurting my life. It's about what's right and what is wrong. And what is right is that I castrate myself. And they're just like, but no, don't believe that. And I'm like, but it's the truth. It is the ineffable, undeniable, inalterable, inescapable truth that everyone should be castrated. Women, men, rip out our vaginas, cut off our dicks. Only then can we be truly virtuous people. And therapists can't handle it. They can't handle the truth bombs that I'm dropping at the therapy office.
No, Brian, I hear that. Every time I ever go to the therapist, they say the exact same thing, including calling me Brian.
You guys ever read Alan Moore's Watchman, where the exact same thing happens, only instead of sexual stuff, it's all about Rorschach, who is a killer, a stone cold killer.
No, I don't read. I'm illiterate.
Okay. But let me tell you an even better book, an even worse book than Watchman. Watchman is one of the best books in the literary canon. The worst book is called City of God by St. Augustine. And he says the same thing. He says that you should never do anything bad. especially not the sex, and especially not stealing plums from your neighbor, which he did once as a child, and talks about for 20 fucking pages, because he feels so bad that he stole a fucking plum. He literally talks about this for like half the fucking book. He just goes on and on about this plum he stole. Maybe we, if we have sex, if we ever have sex, if we're ever disgusting enough to do that to ourselves, we should also steal plums, so that we're evil all around.
I mean, that's definitely the most logical thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's called rationality. Get with it, you theist. Wear your fedora and realize that Sonic the Hedgehog has taught you
Take
pure
off your
atheism.
fedora, put away your anime sex doll, and read some goddamn Augustine.
Maybe when I'm older. Maybe when I'm older, I'll find that magic.
Are you guys familiar with my personal hero, the early Christian father Origen of Alexandria?
With an E instead of an I, as in the word origin. Wasn't he the guy? What a sexy witch!
Oh my God.
I mean,
Fuck
she's
that witch.
every character is fair game, including Beelzebub, who is a giant corpse hung from hooks.
I'll fuck Beelzebub. Which
I want
guys?
that
Which one
little
do you
rat
guys
thing.
want? Oh, she turns into a kawaii Neko. Look at that kawaii Neko.
Kawaii.
Oh man, if you guys want to see some really unfair shit, you should equip me with the cat eye circlet the next time that we change gear, which should happen while I'm up here.
Yeah, we're getting about to that point now.
Because she's the only character that I know of that deals cat-type damage in the entire game, right?
Wait. Is that a real thing?
Yes. So there's an item. The cat eye circle, it gives you massive regen from
Well, put it on. Your time's up. Put it on. Yeah.
Is my time up, for serious?
Yes.
Alright, give me 2
Ooh,
seconds.
frozen half.
I'm gonna explore the rest of this room. The frozen
Like the
half.
sexy half. D. Yes, what a swirl. D.
I actually regret not going through the cantaloupe fucking.